Hello, hello, hello. I want to ask you if you think I cried or if I went viral. Did I cry or did I go viral? You're going to find out today. Okay, I will just say it. I went live for 14 days straight on YouTube. And I definitely cried. I definitely cried, but not because I didn't go viral. I cried because what happened was way more powerful than I ever could have imagined. I proved something that I needed to prove to myself and I needed to prove to you. And that is just because you don't have a big audience, just because you don't have a lot of followers, does not mean that you can't make it as a creator. As a matter of fact, I proved something that most people don't even believe. And that is you can make money, you can build momentum, you can grow a small audience, and I've got the receipts to prove it, that you can do all the things that I just named, and you can do it without a huge audience. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So excited. Welcome to the Little Oil Podcast. I'm so super excited you are here. If you are on the live, even if you are on the replay, let's stay connected. We are family here. And I want to really just break down for you what really happened when I committed to going live for 14 days straight. I'm going to share the 3 biggest lessons that I learned that changed the way I show up. It changed the way I create content, and it changed the way I sell online. So you can skip the guesswork, and we're going to get straight to the results. We're talking consistency here. We're talking transparency here. I'm going to tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, God. I'm going to talk about how you can turn consistency into cash flow, even if you're starting small like I did. I have less than $500. Lord, that's definitely not true. I have less than 500 subscribers on YouTube. I have less than 200 followers on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on X. And I'm still making money. I'm still growing. I'm still a full-time creator. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And what I want to do today is really take you through how this happened, what actually happened, and what it means for you. So I want to get started with how and why I pulled off this 14-day live stream. I called it the Small Creators Takeover Tour. And I did it because I needed to show and prove what is possible for you. I know what it's like to go through the journey of being a creator thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Nobody really wants to hear what I have to say. Can it really go viral? Can it really be meaningful? Can I really make money? I have been there. It took me 8 years to figure out what I know now, to actually make money online, just sharing and selling what I know. I'm talking just my knowledge, what I figured out, the transformation that I made in my own life. But before I share my biggest 3 lessons that I learned when I went live for 14 days. Let me tell you how I even pulled it off in the first place. It wasn't just me waking up every day with a script and some magical or miracle YouTube power. Nah, bruh. Nah, friend. This was strategy, it was software, and it was serious power. That's what it took for me to actually pull this off. So I planned the entire Small Creators Takeover Tour using 3 powerful things. First, I went straight to my girl, Chelsea. Chelsea is my personal name for Chat GPT. Me and Chelsea, we like this, baby. She got my back all day, every day, said more eloquently. I typed in exactly what I wanted to do, exactly what I wanted to accomplish. And I literally told Chelsea, I want you to give me the titles, the hooks, the scripts, even the thumbnails for a 14-day tour that teaches small creators how they can actually make money online with no audience, a small audience with no followers, or a small number of followers. And so Chelsea and I spent an entire day tweaking, going back and forth, getting exactly what I wanted. Because here's what most people don't know about using AI. You have to be smarter than it. It needs to be your assistant. And if it gives you something that you are not looking for, or if it gives you something that doesn't fit, have a real conversation. I would tell Chelsea all the time, yes, you're close, but I want you to deep dive on blank instead. In other words, when I told her what I wanted to do, when I told her I was going live 14 days and what I wanted to accomplish, I made sure she know that, yes, I'm going all in, teaching small creators what's possible and how they actually can make money online, but the end goal is to convert my challenge. I made sure she knew that. I made sure that we were on the same page. So we went back and forth until I finally got exactly what I needed from her, until I finally got exactly what made sense to what I wanted to accomplish. So that was number one. I used chat, I used Chelsea, and she literally gave me everything. She gave me and also I told her to put it in a table because I wanted it to be organized. And I'll show you and give you a deep dive on the back end, the behind the scenes on a different video. I'll show you exactly what I did with chat. I'll show you exactly what I did with what I'm going to share with you next. And that was my second powerful element, and that is I used craft to stay prepared. So I used Chelsea to plan the strategy, but I used craft to stay prepared. Every time Chelsea gave me something that I needed to do, whether it be a file name that I needed to name the live, whether it was what my script is, what the thumbnail is, what the description is. She gave me everything. She gave me everything. I transferred the information from the AI portal and I put it into a very strategically outlined, a very strategically formatted, a very strategically organized craft document. Now, most people use OneNote, Evernote. Some people use Trello. Craft is a game changer. And I will do another video on how I did it, because every time I was ready to actually go live for every day, I pulled up my craft app, brought it to the screen where I'm teaching right now, and followed everything that was said. And that's what made it so successful and seamless. Did I have some hookups? Yes, because I'm not a perfect person. I gave up perfectionism a long time ago. I tried it and it did not work for me. So not only did I use ChatGPT, who I call Chelsea, to plan my strategy, and I added all of the content, the scripts, everything in craft so that I can stay prepared. How did I pour? How did I show up for 14 days with this kind of energy, with this kind of conviction, with this kind of motivation and inspiration and tactical information? How did I do that? Well, I tell you how I did it. God. It was God that allowed me to pour. He gave me the strength. He gave me the power to get through it, even on the days I wanted to quit, even on the days where I had a really challenging, horrific day. I showed up and you would never know it because God gave me strength to do it. Now, why did I do it? Why would I literally put myself in a position where I had to follow this madness? It was hard. Excuse me. It was so very hard. But I launched this Small Creators Tour, this 14-day live stream, for one big reason. I want to help creators who feel invisible start showing up. Gone is the day where just huge creators with huge followers and lots of subscribers, gone is the day when they are the only ones who can make money. I proved through my 14-day tour that it's possible to make money because I made money. I'll get to that in just a bit. But I wanted to prove to small creators, which is the people that I serve. I even named my avatar. Her name is New Start Nancy. I named her because I needed to see who I was pouring into. That way I can make it more meaningful. That way I can make it more I can make it more of a commitment. That way I can be real and pure and authentic to what I really do want to do, and that is serve. And so I wanted to make sure that my New Start Nancy knew that she can show up even if she felt invisible, even if she felt invaluable. And I wanted to show her how truly valuable she is. And that value is not based on vanity metrics of how many subscribers you have or how many followers you have. I can name about 100 people who have more than 100,000 followers who don't have the system that I create for my New Start Nancy. And they don't, because they're only making money because the platform is paying them money based on views that they're getting. They don't have a real system that they can rinse and repeat over and over again to continue making money. Because if YouTube ever decides we don't need the traffic anymore to pay these companies and big corporations for ad space, we don't need that anymore, then you're fresh out of luck. What I did was show her how to and show you how to make money even if you don't have even if you have a small audience and don't have a monetized platform. Super important. So this tour wasn't just a marketing plan. Yes, I wanted to convert my challenge, and I still will because YouTube not going anywhere. So my videos, all 14 of those days are still there and available, so I can make money at any time. It's inevitable that I do so. All right, it wasn't just a marketing plan for me. It was a ministry movement. It was a movement for me. It was a commitment to prove to you that you can create impact and income and influence. And I know that's what you really want. It's not even about the money for you at this point because you have a 9-to-5. You're going back to school to make sure that you get a degree. You want to have impact and income and influence. You want all three, and you can have them all. So, the benefits for me. I want to get into that because what happened for me can happen for you too. Now, I didn't expect this. I really didn't. But showing up for 14 days changed everything for me. It built my stamina. That's first of all. Like before this challenge, I had a hard time showing up twice a week. I had a hard time showing up once a week. I had a hard time showing up for a 30-second short. But doing this compared to just showing up for a short, the short is piece of cake. Even twice a week is a piece of cake because I built that stamina and I see what's possible and what I can actually accomplish and achieve and do in terms of getting online for 14 days straight. It makes showing up twice a week seem easy. So I built my stamina. If I can go for 14 days in a row, I can absolutely show up when I don't feel like it without excuse. It positioned me to sell with clarity. Even when I wasn't always pitching, people were still showing interest, right? I still made money. So it taught me what to say, what not to say, how to share value, expect a sale, but don't require it or expect it just because I believe in what I have. It has to be a win-win. In other words, if you see this as valuable, go ahead and join the challenge. Yes, I will get a payment, but you're going to get something way farther. You're going to get an opportunity to build legacy wealth and never look back financially, even if you have 0 followers, even if you have a small audience. It grew my channel and reach. My analytics don't lie. I gained visibility, I gained subscribers, I gained qualified leads, and that's most important. This 14-day live gave me those things that I don't know if I would have gotten in 14 days that I got when I had the live stream. And it proves my theory. You can actually make money. You can actually monetize that rich, valuable knowledge of yours without going viral. That is the biggest aha moment for me, that my theory worked. And now I can say with pure confidence, I can say with true integrity, I can truly say with conviction that I don't care if you have 0 followers, 5 followers, 100 followers, whatever it is you have right now in terms of an audience, even if it's zero, you can still make money. The live streams didn't vanish after 14 days, y'all. I still have an opportunity to make money over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because the videos are always going to be there. I'll deep dive on that more in just a bit. Let me take you through my key takeaways from being online live for 14 days straight. Let me take you through my 3 key takeaways. So let me get to that. I think it's, yes, here we go. So yes, I did cry, if you're wondering, but not because I didn't go viral. Remember, I cried because this tour worked. The Small Creators Takeover Tour, it worked. It worked for my mission. It worked for my mindset. It worked for my money. Let's break it down. I want to break down the 3 lessons that changed everything. All right, key takeaway number 1. You don't need to go viral. You just need to be consistent. I think that's out the gate number 1. You don't need to go viral. You just need to be consistent. Some days only a few people showed up. Other days, the replay carried more weight than the live. But showing up consistently, that's what built the trust. And I will say this to you. When I was live, and I started with a lot of energy because I expected a lot of people to show up, and only 4 or 5 people showed up, my energy stayed the same. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that my energy level raised, because I knew I was talking to real people, and it didn't matter if it wasn't 4,000. 4 was enough for me. That is so super important, because that proves that my true intention is to help, even if it's one person at a time. And that's enough for me. God is going to give me the increase either way. So showing up in that type of consistency every time, that built a rhythm for me. And I'm a systems girl. I love systems and plans and tactics and a repeatable process. So as I went along on the 14 days, I just gained more and more and more momentum. And so, no, I didn't go viral, but I grew. And guess what? I made money anyway, even if I didn't go viral. And guess what? I'm going to make more money, even if it never goes viral. Because if it serves the person who's already looking for the solution that I provided in the live stream, if it serves them because they're already looking for that solution anyway, I'm going to make a sale. I'm going to continue to make money. And guess what? I only had to do the 14-day live stream one time, but the money's going to keep rolling. Do you see why or how you can still make money even if you don't go viral, even if you don't have a large audience? Just show up and show up consistently. And that revolving door of that video will keep opening over and over and over again, as long as people are looking for what you are preaching or teaching or saying or sharing in that actual video. So if you've been waiting to go big before you go consistent, it's time to flip that. Don't wait to go big to go consistent. Go consistent to go big. I'm going to say that one more time. Don't wait to go big to go consistent. Go consistent to go big. That is the sustainable path. That's what's working for me, and that's what's going to work for you too. 10 days ago, I only had 342 subscribers. Now I have like 396. Consistency got me there. And so I want you to break the mindset of I'm going to start first and I'm going to get a whole lot of followers first and then I'm going to go all in. And that's a mistake. It's not the only mistake. There are 7 costly mistakes I want to share with you that you are making when you're starting your online creator business. 7 costly mistakes. And you can grab that guide right here, right now, today. Because if you are trying to go all in with being a content creator, avoiding these 7 costly mistakes is going to get you to your desired end so much farther and so much faster. In other words, not only will you get the 7 costly mistakes women are making when starting their creator business, online business, I'm going to show you how to fix them. You need to get this as soon as you can before you waste another month, before you waste another dollar, before you waste another idea. And you can grab it now. The link is in the description. I want you to have it. It is yours, no strings attached. All you have to do is click the link in the description and go ahead and download it. Now, I want to get into takeaway number 2. Takeaway number 2 on why, or the second key takeaway on why my 14-day live worked. I went live 14 days straight, and it was hard. But the second reason why it truly worked is because my digital product is not the business, it's the entry point. In other words, every time I went live, I always pointed my audience. I always pointed the person who was listening, whether they were on the live or on the replay. I always pointed them to the extension of the solution. In other words, what that means is this. Yes, I was giving them valuable solutions in the live, but I pointed them how to go farther. You can't say everything. You can't teach everything in 1 hour or in one 30-minute segment or one 15-minute segment or one short. And you are cutting your customers short. You are giving them a disadvantage by giving them part of it, but don't give them the rest of the solution. Even if the rest of that solution is in the sale, it's okay. People pay for solutions. And they're paying for solutions every day. Now, they're paying for solutions for other people. They may as well pay for solutions from you. So the biggest shift during the tour was realizing that my $27 product wasn't just something to sell. It was the doorway. In other words, I have what's called a LOC, and that stands for Leveled Offer Channel. I used to be a teacher for 18 years. You know how teachers, we love our acronyms. Leveled Offer Channel is a series or a list of offers that gradually increase in value, in cost, in result as your audience goes through that channel, your leveled offer channel. And so, yes, you can start with me with the 7 mistakes that new creators make that want to start an online business. And yes, you might get the $27 product after that. And yes, you may join the challenge. But what's the end goal here? Where do I want to take you? I want to take you to a retreat in the Philippines, where we're there just to talk about our next big venture and how we have $1 million to invest in our next big business venture because we sold $500,000 worth of small products, digital products. That's what's possible for you. So my second big takeaway was whatever it is that I offered, it wasn't the business, it was the entry point. And showing up every day gave people an opportunity to join me in the journey of being a successful online entrepreneur. And that entry point meant everything because people that were in my live stream showed up in my challenge. That is everything. It works for me, it'll work for you. It worked for me, it'll work for you. So let's get into number 3. My big takeaway number 3 is this. Faithful obedience unlocks future opportunities. I know it's what I was supposed to do, and I knew it would be hard going in. But I did it anyway, and I stayed faithful. And that obedience is going to lead to future opportunities. How do I know that? Well, somebody who sees the replay may want the guide. Somebody that sees the replay may want to join my challenge. Somebody that sees my replay that may want me to coach them personally. Somebody who sees my replay may want me to speak at their events. Somebody that joined my replay may want to hire me as a freelancer and build their whole business model. I can do that in 7 days. Easy. Depending on the business model, maybe 3 days. What am I saying? There are endless possibilities that are inevitable for me. Please excuse me. I'm so excited. I'm fumbling over my words, but y'all got my back, right? I gave up perfect a long time ago. The future possibilities, the future opportunities are inevitable because even though showing up wasn't easy, I went live. I grew stronger. I stopped second guessing myself. I got bolder in my messaging. I sold better. God honors the oil that you pour, but you got to show up, and you got to show up strong consistently. So let me show you where the best way to start. And that is, let me see. And that is, let me get to that scene. And that is here. I want you to see something. I want you to see this. You may not have everything you need. And I say that carefully because what you think you need is a better camera, a better microphone. I'm not even using my mic today. See my mic? There it is. Whoopsies. I'm not even using my mic today. Quite honestly, I mean, I can just be vulnerable right here and tell you I forgot to turn it on. So I sincerely hope that my audio is good. But when I went 14 days straight on the live stream, I did not let the mistakes and the oopsies and the small hiccups, I didn't let it stop me because I knew I had a bigger plan. I knew I had a bigger goal. Was it hard? It was definitely hard, but it was so worth it. And so wherever you are in your journey, stop worrying about what you don't have and not being ready. Ready will not come. Ready doesn't exist. And so I want you to stop worrying about the camera, the equipment, not having anything built already. Start with avoiding all the mistakes you're already making. And let me show you how to do that. You can grab, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see exactly what it is. This is, whoopsies, wrong scene. No. There it is. All right. On my website, you will see this section right here. And in this section, it literally says you're sitting on a gold mine, because you are. But these 7 mistakes are keeping you from millions. Get the free guide. All you have to do is click on this link. It's going to take you to a page that describes everything that you get and what it's about. And all you have to do is click on I want the free guide, and I will send it to you. As a matter of fact, you will have access to it immediately. You don't even have to wait. Like, take the steps, and it's going to be right there available to you. Why do you want this? Why do you want to do this? I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because if you don't just start, you will never start. And instead of waiting on ready or waiting on the perfect thing, the perfect equipment, all the book to be finished, all of the recipe to be figured out, all the coaching framework to be done, no need to wait for that. Start with these 7 mistakes. Stop making those, and I promise you, you'll gain momentum and you'll start growing from there. Start there. That is what's important. So you have access to the guide. You have access to me. If you have enjoyed this heart-to-heart talk about my key takeaways from going 14 days live on a live stream, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if what I'm doing is resonating with you. Also, if you have a little bit of time to do so, go ahead and chat with me and let me know what your biggest takeaway is from what I shared. Like, you know what my biggest takeaway is, but if you went live, what do you think your biggest takeaway would be? Go ahead and type that in the comments for me. I want to say this, and this is what's important. And this, what I'm about to say right now may end up being your biggest takeaway, but this is important for you to know. You don't need a big audience. You just don't. You don't need to go viral. You just need the right strategy and the right support. That's this girl. I've proven to you by my own works and by my own commitment to a 14-day straight live stream that you don't have to have those things to make it online, to make money online. You don't have to. I make money online. you can make money online. I did this with what I had, and you can too, with less than 500 subscribers. Now, if you just want to subscribe, that'll be great. What I have coming up next for you is going to be amazing. The next video I'm going to share with you, not the podcast, because this is a podcast. The next podcast, I'm going to share with you the behind the scenes of what it took for me to get ready for it, all the things that I did, the three powerful tools and elements that I shared with you today. And I'm going to do another video or podcast on specifically how to use craft to make your days, your workflow so much smoother. I promise you, you're making it harder than it is. I promise you are. So drop in the comments if you are ready to stop guessing and what your biggest takeaway is from this live podcast. I'm so super excited to share this with you. Like, share, subscribe. And there's only one thing that I have left to say, and that is thank you for joining me today on the Little Oil Podcast. Little is much when God is in it. I will see you next Thursday. Bye for now.